जग है पराया जब से तू आया सांसें अब जीना सीखें मैं ना रहना जी रहना तेरे बाद
Across London on 1458 AM and DAB, smart speaker, mobile app and LeicaRadio.com.
This is Leica Radio.
From the Sky News Centre at 9. The Health Secretary says nursing strikes risk patient safety ahead of a 28-hour walkout starting tonight. For the first time, staff on A&E units and intensive care wards will be among those striking in England, although the RCN unions agreed some exemptions. Its members have rejected the government's 5% pay offer. Labour leader Sir Keir Starmer says ministers should return to the negotiating table.
The government needs to learn that lesson, get in the room, negotiate this, compromise and get on with it. You know, nobody wants to see strikes in nursing, in hospitals, in railway or anywhere else.
Those watching the King's coronation on Saturday will be invited to take an oath to him out loud. The words will include, "I will pay true allegiance to your Majesty." The Foreign Office has called its mission to rescue British citizens from the fighting in Sudan as extremely successful after the final plane left the country last night. In total, nearly 1,900 people were collected by the RAF. Our correspondent Yusra El-Bagir is in Port Sudan.
On a community level, people are giving out food and supplies, but they're very limited. There's really no humanitarian response presence on the ground. So people here do feel abandoned. Those that do get to leave seem to be those that have foreign passports.
Police in the US state of Texas are searching for a man who killed 5 of his neighbours, including an 8-year-old boy. He apparently shot them after they asked him to stop firing rounds in his garden because they were trying to sleep. Almost a fifth of people say they'd stop donating to charity to help manage their bills. The Charities Aid Foundation says volunteering and sponsorship aren't back to pre-pandemic levels. And Mark Selby will face Luca Bressel in today's World Snooker Championship final after coming through a late-night epic. The 4-time champion beat Mark Allen 17-15 just before 1 a.m. in Sheffield. That's the latest. I'm Tamsin Kent.
Night, Carl, my precious wombat nephew.
Sergey!
What is it, Carl?
I wrote you this super sweet wombat lullaby to help you get to sleep.
I was asleep.
Sergey, you're my friend. Now I'll help you get to sleep. Sergey! Did it work?
Yes.
Sweet. You're welcome, bro. Same time tomorrow.
Don't wombat it. Meerkat it.
Simples.
Winner of Radio Station of the Year at the Asian Media Awards.
Leica Radio, London.
Leica Radio weather.
Today's weather: light rain showers and light winds. In London and surrounding areas, top temperature 18 centigrade. Sunset is at 8:21 p.m.
Leica Radio. Leica Radio.
Flight updates are brought to you by TravelUp.com. Flights, hotels and holidays.
Let's go for a flight update. All flights are as scheduled, but please check with your flight operators before heading to the airport.
Flight updates were brought to you by TravelUp.com. Lowest prices are guaranteed only when you book directly through TravelUp.com. Call 0207 580 5000. Flight updates were brought to you by TravelUp.com. Lowest prices are guaranteed only when you book directly through TravelUp.com. Call 0207 580 5000. Talking Points with Keith Vaz, celebrating diversity. Leica, London.
Leica Radio.
Good morning and welcome to the 158th edition of Talking Points on Leica Radio with me, Keith Vaz. Happy birthday this week to Charanjit Sandhu and today to Dinu Bathiza. And on Monday, tomorrow, the 1st of May, May Day, a happy birthday to Geeta Patel, Pradeep Dunab, Ashidu Joel and Jogga Singh Sandhu. Thank you, Priyanka, once again for a great show. And of course, this week, on Friday, was the worldwide launch of PS2. It was a brilliantly received. It's just 6 days to the coronation of King Charles. It's going to happen next Saturday, the 6th of May. I hope everyone has got their bunting up. Let's go around the world to get some of the top news stories from the week. Prime Minister Narendra Modi held a 16-kilometre-long roadshow in Daman and Diu, where he launched and laid the foundation stone of development projects worth more than 4,800 crores, which is £470 million. The Prime Minister of India was cheered as he went through the streets in his massive cavalcade. The centrally funded Namo Medical Education and Research Institute, whose foundation stone he laid in 2019, is being built at a cost of £19 million. Ahead of its inauguration, the Prime Minister also personally interacted with the construction workers of the institute. US President Joe Biden has announced he will run for re-election in 2024 with a running mate of Kamala Harris. He sets the stage for a potential rematch with Donald Trump. The Democrat president had been expected to seek a second 4-year term. He said it was a pivotal moment for freedoms and rights under threat. This is not a time to be complacent, said the 80-year-old. Spain recorded its hottest ever temperature for April on Thursday, hitting 38.7 degrees centigrade, according to the country's Met services. The record figure was reached in Cordoba airport in southern Spain just after 5 o'clock local time. When are we going to have some nice weather? In our Inventor series, we're going to ask the question, who invented the remote control? Well, actually, it's 67 years old, having been invented by Robert Adler. 9 million television sets were sold with the technology in the 1980s. On the programme today, my special guest is Tanvi Shah, who shot to fame when she won the prestigious Grammy Award for Best Song Written for a Motion Picture or Other Visual Media for her Spanish lyrics for the song Jai Ho from Slumdog Millionaire, an award she shared with, of course, the maestro A.R. Rahman and lyricist Gulzar. She will be telling us also about her special line in cosmetics. From Bollywood, we're going to be going over to Chigwell in Essex for a serious talk with my next guest, Dr. Ragini Bari, who is a consultant, child and adolescent psychologist in the Priory Hospital North Group. We will be talking to her about the shocking statistics that mental health problems in children are on the increase and are affecting them from a very young age. But before all that, let's hear some music.
मेरा आसमां जल गया रे, चांद को आग लगी, आसमां पे राख ही राख उड़ी है, जल गया मेरा आसमां। आँखें बहती है जनियाँ, पलकें जलती है, जीने का पल पल गया, जनियाँ जल गया मेरा आसमां। पाँव में वीराना, दिल में उजाड़ा है, जनियाँ जाए कहाँ, दीवाना जल गया मेरा आसमां। आधी रात में कभी तुम नींद में बुलाती थी, रात जल गई वो जनियाँ, ख्वाब जल गया रे। बादलों से नर्म थे जनियाँ, हाथ जो सहलाते थे, आँखों ही से बोलती थी तुम, दो बहलाते थे। मेरा आसमां जल गया रे, चांद को आग लगी, आसमां पे राख ही राख उड़ी है, जल गया मेरा आसमां। आग ही आग है मेरी चार दिशाओं में, मेरा आसमां जल गया रे चांद को आग लगी आसमां पे राख ही राख उड़ी है जल गया मेरा आसमां आंखें बहती है जनियां पलकें जलती है जीने का पल पल गया जनियां जल गया मेरा आसमां
Talking Points with Keith Vaz, celebrating diversity. Leica, London.
Welcome back. This is Keith Vaz on Talking Points on Leica Radio. I hope you enjoyed the music. We've got a treat for you this morning here on Leica Radio. My special guest on the program is Tanvi Shah, who shot to fame when she won the prestigious Grammy Award for Best Song written for a motion picture or other visual media for her Spanish lyrics for the song Jai Ho from Slumdog Millionaire, an award she shared with the maestro of all maestros, A.R. Rahman, and lyricist Gulzar. She is the first Indian woman to have won this coveted award. She also shares the World Soundtrack Award with Rahman and Gulzar, besides receiving the BMI Award in 2009 in London for the same track. But she is more than a singer and songwriter. She's got her own line in cosmetics, and she is also a creative genius. She's passing through London, so what better opportunity than now to talk to her. Good morning, Tanvi Shah.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm fine. Now, whatever happens in the history of popular music, you've got your place in history by being the first Indian woman to win the Grammy for Best Song Written. What did you feel on the night of the Grammys when you won that award?
I would like to say that there was a lot of pressure, first of all. It was very surreal. Very dreamy. Felt like roller coaster ride, which I think is still on. I haven't gotten off the roller coaster ride. But most importantly, I felt the pressure because I felt like I was representing the women of my country. I was representing my country, my colleagues, everyone. So yes, it was quite nerve-wracking. But at the end of the day, everything else is history.
It is. Now, what's interesting is your knowledge of so many languages. You speak Spanish, Portuguese, Afro-Cuban, Arabic, besides Hindi, Tamil, Telugu. That's quite a collection. What made you decide to learn so many languages?
Well, I just would like to make a correction. I don't speak in those languages. I sing in those languages. And I don't think language should be a barrier when you're a musician or a singer. It shows variety. And I love singing in different dialects because when you see a smile on someone's face from their native country and you're singing a song, they start smiling and they have this little twinkle in their eye. And I'm like, okay, at least they're enjoying the music. And to be very honest, I think music is the one thing which brings people together and the one thing which is positive today. So yeah, I love singing in different languages, and I think I've touched almost about 19 languages. So I'm very happy. I'm still learning.
Now, after Slumdog Millionaire, after Jai Ho, you were invited by Snoop Dogg, the famous American rapper, and you featured on his track called Snoop Dogg Millionaire. Were you surprised that your musical career that kind of a turn?
Of course I was surprised. It wasn't expected, never expected, but I just randomly connected with him and he was like, yeah, let's do a track. And I was like, okay, what track? And then he says, Snoop Dogg Millionaire. And I had a good laugh, but it was interesting to work with them because you work with different musicians and I got to meet a lot of musicians because of him. But such a humble man. I have to say he's so humble. Of course, at the end of the day, I learned so much from their industry also. It was a good experience, very good experience.
And do you think that your musical talents will take you into other directions apart from what you've done so far?
I have... let's put it this way. I believe in myself and my music. I think it's very sacred for me. So I'm not going to draw lines or say anything like that. But I just hope to, enjoy my journey and take it from there.
This is Keith Vaz on Talking Points on Leica Radio. I'm having a fascinating conversation with a history maker, Tanvi Shah, the first Indian woman to win the prestigious Grammy Award. But as we will find out in the second part of my interview, there's more to Tanvi Shah. Apart from her music, she is something of a creative genius. And we'll hear more about that after the break.
Let's talk again.
just tell me you'll stay by my side. So let's say adios and leave all our troubles behind. Desperado, desperado, in this together we live or we die. Oh, we can go wherever you want, London or Paris. Yeah, we could take a drop-top Benz or a horse and carriage. It's a crime, we don't know what to do with you. How to touch you and love you like I will do. Oh, I promise you that we won't look back no more. Chica, bonita, I'm taking you with me this time. Te quiero, te amo, just tell me you'll stay by my side. So let's say adios and leave all our troubles behind. Desperado, desperado, in this together we live or we die. I would die for you, baby. Anywhere you be at, I would fly to you, baby. Trying things I wouldn't try for you, baby. I mean, I don't really smoke, but I get high with you, baby. We could keep it clean, we could get dirty. Whatever you like, jo bhi teri merzi. Nahi milega bhi teri jaisi ladki, except maybe once in Jersey. I can feel your heartbeat, dil dhadak jaye. And it's so cliche, but I don't want you to be the one that got away. Let's get away. I want you by my side. You could be Bonnie, I'll be Clyde. Tu meri rani, meri parchai. In this together we live or we die, baby.
Did you know the national living and minimum wage increased on the 1st of April? This means many people across the country should see an increase in their pay this month. The new rates apply to everyone, whether you're in a full-time, part-time or a temporary role. These are different based on your age or whether you're doing an apprenticeship. Don't just assume you're getting paid correctly. Check that you are and talk to your employer. To understand the new rates and to get advice, visit gov.uk/check your pay. You've earned it. Make sure you're getting it.
Haldiram brings you the most loved Indian sweets which are freshly made in UK. Now order your favorite Haldiram products online only on haldiramuk.com. Also available at your local Asian store at super special prices.
हो जी दिल्ली अमृतसर
या यूरोप के अंदर
ट्रैवल करेंगे मस्त कलंदर
लाहौर या पेशावर
या दुबई घुमाकर
फोटो खिंचाकर या रीले बनाकर।
अच्छा तो लगता है।
वो तो है, पर आजकल कन्वीनियंटली एयर टिकट कहाँ मिलता है?
मिलता है ना, मान ट्रैवल, टाइम इज फ्लाइंग, लेट्स फ्लाई टू। जस्ट कॉल 0208 099 9900।
हर ट्रिप में आपका मान रखेंगे।
Man Travel.
Himalaya Carpets Mega Bank Holiday Sale is now on. Over 500 rolls of carpets reduced by 30%. All room size remnants up to 40%. Vinyl and rugs all reduced. Himalaya Carpets Bank Holiday Sale is now on. Branches at Southall and Slough or visit HimalayaCarpets.com.
Himalayan carpets for low prices. Himalayan carpets.
तेरे वास्ते मेरा इश्क सूफियाना मेरा इश्क सूफियाना मेरा इश्क सूफियाना I'm Kamal Khan. Join me live at the Queen's Theatre, Romford on Friday 2nd of June.
Anuj Chopra Foundation proudly presents Ishq Sufiana on Friday 2nd June at the Queen's Theatre, Billet Lane, Hornchurch. Tickets from £25. Call the box office on 01708 443333 or visit queens-theatre.co.uk. Show sponsor Urban Interior. Show hosted by me, Anisa Nasir. Show powered by Laika Radio.
Laika.
The longest running South Asian Film Festival outside India, the UK Asian Film Festival, returns for its 25th year.
Happy to be here. Thank you, all you guys.
Celebrating stories, sharing culture, identity, dreams, and future. The UK Asian Film Festival, screenings UK-wide. Visit tonguesonfire.com for days and timing. Starting from the 4th of May up until the 14th of May in London, Leicester, and Glasgow. Exclusive radio partner, Laika Radio.
The personalities that matter with Keith Vaz on Talking Points.
Laika Radio.
Keith Vaz on Talking Points. Laika.
This is Keith Vaz on Talking Points on Laika Radio. I'm talking to my special guest, the history maker Tanveer Shah, the first Indian woman to win the prestigious Grammy Award for Best Written Song. Now, apart from songwriting and apart from singing in different languages, you have now branched out, like other superstars before you, into your own range of skincare and holistic products. Tell us about why you decided to go into this particular genre, and how has the launch of your products gone?
I'd like to say that because of a personal experience I had, which was really a really bad one, I decided to come out with my own skincare line, which is there are deodorants and skin balms and skin serum, because I just think that my products, which I formulated myself, I don't have any preservatives in them. They're all organic, natural products, and they actually help your skin. So the launch, it's called Tantra Studios, and my main product, which is doing really well, is called the Pit Pod, which is a deodorant. And I just think that with all the yoga, meditation, and everything, and the experiences that I've had, I think we have to get back to connecting with our bodies. And now everyone wants to use these sprays and everything. They don't want to connect with their body and don't want to massage their bodies or whatever. And I just think that connecting with your body is a very important part. So, now it's doing well. When I launched the Pit Pod and the Bug Off and the Glow Nectar.
And where exactly our young listeners of Laika Radio, who are very interested in looking after their bodies, I'm sure, including me, where do you get these products from?
Well, as of now, they're available in India, but very soon, I hope, in the next 6 months, I can go worldwide for sure.
And presumably they'll be retailed in person in different countries rather than just getting them online or from India.
Yes, definitely.
Do you think we are now in the age, Tanveer Shah, of people being more interested in their body and their health more than at any other time in yours and my lifetime? Obviously, I've lived longer than you, but the fact is people do care, don't they? They care what they drink, they care the clothes that they wear, where are they made, who's made their clothes, but more than anything else, they care deeply about what they put on their skins. This is a new phenomenon, isn't it?
Yes, this is a very new phenomenon, and I'm really glad we are waking up to this, not new idea, but we are takes me back to the Ayurveda ages, and I think it's very necessary, because even if you look at yoga and meditation, there was a time when I couldn't even concentrate for 5 minutes, but I can sit in meditation now for like 2 hours and I'm okay with it. It doesn't feel like, oh my God, I've wasted time. In fact, that really helps me. And I think taking care of your body in today's times is very important. because very soon I just feel that at some point we're going to deteriorate, and we shouldn't let that happen.
Well, look, it's been fascinating talking to you. Obviously, this conversation started out about your Grammy Award, but it's gone on to other things. You are a versatile woman of the 21st century, and it's been a real pleasure talking to you and having you on the program. We always ask our special guests to choose a song that means something special to them, and to dedicate it to someone special, we're going to have to choose Jai Ho. We just have to do that. So I'm not going to let you choose. I've chosen it for you. But who would you like to dedicate the song to?
I would like to dedicate it to all the Like a Radio listeners and all the fans, because we are here because of our fans and because of you. Thank you so much, Keith, for having me on the show. And to all the Like a Radio fans and listeners, I love you and Jai Ho.
Tanvi Shah, thank you for joining us. Have an absolutely superb Sunday.
Thank you so much. Same to you.
Let's hear. If you've never heard it before, well, you're hearing it for the first time, and you're hearing it in the presence of the woman who was part of its great success, Tanvi Shah. Let's go with Jai Ho.
आजा आजा जिंद शामी आने के तले, आजा जरी वाले नीले आसमाने के तले। जय हो जय हो, आजा आजा जिंद शामी आने के तले, आजा जरी वाले नीले आसमाने के तले। जय हो सच्ची मैंने जान गवाई है, नच नच कोयलों पे रात बिताई है। अखियों की नींद मैंने फूकों से उड़ा दी, गिन गिन तारे मैंने उंगली जलाई है। आजा आजा जिंदे शामी आने के तले आजा
हरी वाली नीले आसमां के तले जय हो शबेगम जय हो कामेदे जय हो हालेदे जय हो बेकुदी जय हो
Time checks are brought to you by TravelUp.com. Our lowest prices are guaranteed only when you book directly through TravelUp.com or call 0207 580 5000.
Leica Radio.
Traffic and travel.
The M4 Heathrow Spur Road starting to build up now on that southbound approach from the main carriageway towards the terminals. The M11 is closed on the northbound side today. That's from junction 78 Harlow Knowles towards 8 at Bishop Stortford for the works, but it will reopen early tomorrow morning. Very slow on the South Circular in Lee. It's queuing in both directions at Birch Grove, not helped by the temporary lights. And in Swanley, the A20 is heavy southbound on the approach to the M20. On the trains, London Euston Mainline Station closed today for the engineering works, and Great North Western Railway reporting delays up to 40 minutes from Paddington to Reading because of the overrunning engineering works. And that's the latest traffic and travel.
This is Leica Radio.
सस्ती से सस्ती फ्लाइट्स और हॉलिडे पैकेज चाहिए तो 24 घंटे 7 दिन किसी भी समय ट्रैवल हब का नंबर मिलाइए फॉर क्रूज टेलर मेड हॉलिडे होटल बुकिंग्स एंड हनीमून पैकेजेस हमसे सस्ता कहीं नहीं मिल सकता कॉल ट्रैवल हब 24/7 ऑन 0208-782-8833 और विजिट travelhubltd.co.uk.
Travel Hub, best service with unbeatable price.
At all protected.
Visit travelhubltd.co.uk.
Hira Foods, bringing you authentic Eastern flavors with a huge selection of products including spices, grains, lentils, rice, flours, pickles, sauces, nuts, and ready-to-eat meals. Hira Foods, king in quality, king in taste.
The Cholas are back and they're bigger and better than before.
उत्तर की भूमि आपको दे दी जानी चाहिए यही न्यायपूर्ण है
Subhas Karan presents a Mani Ratnam film Ponniyin Selvan Part 2 starring Vikram, Jayam Ravi, Aishwarya Rai Bachchan and many more. Music by A.R. Rahman. PS2 now showing in cinemas worldwide in Tamil, Hindi, Telugu, Malayalam and Kannada. Experience the epic historical action adventure film PS2, a movie by Leica Productions.
Get ready. Atif Aslam is back. Atif Aslam live on Sunday the 11th of June at the OVO Arena, Wembley. Tickets on sale now. Book online at ovoarena.co.uk and Videorama on 0208 907 0116. Book now to avoid disappointment.
दिल करता है लाहौर में समोसे और छोले, कराची में निहारी, इस्लामाबाद में चेलो कबाब।
Bus. Book lowest price tickets to Pakistan now. Call 0207 580 5000 or log on to travelup.com.
Gurdas Maan Facts.
Did you know Gurdas Maan started his career as an employee of the Punjab State Electricity Board?
Gurdas Maan live at the Wembley OVO Arena on Sunday 28th May. Book your tickets on ukboxoffice.net. Exclusive radio partner Leica Radio.
Talking Points with Keith Vaz, celebrating diversity. Leica, London.
Welcome back. This is Keith Vaz on Talking Points on Leica Radio. From Bollywood, let's go to Chigwell in Essex. Here's a shocking statistic. In the last 3 years, the likelihood of young people having a mental health problem has increased by a staggering 50%. A report published in 2022 shows that children's happiness continues to decline. Now, 5 children in a classroom of 30 are likely to have a mental health problem, and nearly 300,000 young people in Britain have an anxiety disorder. In the UK, anxiety disorders are estimated to affect between 5 and 19% of all children and adolescents. Separation anxiety is the most common anxiety disorder in children younger than 12. My special guest on the program today is Dr. Ragini Bahari, who joined Priory Group in 2018 as a consultant child adolescent psychiatrist at the very famous Priory Hospital in North London. Before joining the Priory, Dr. Bahari worked as a community consultant at the North East London NHS Foundation Trust and as a child and adolescent psychiatrist for 4 years. She completed her training and qualified as a psychiatrist in 2011. Let's go over to Chigwell. Good morning, Dr. Ragini Bahari.
Thank you, Kate. Good morning. Thank you for having me on your show.
Now, there's going to be a lot of young people, possibly a lot of children listening to this program this morning, certainly a lot of mums and dads. Why do you think the number of children who are facing anxiety has increased? What's been so special about the last few years? Has it been COVID or something else?
I think it's a mixture of things, Keith. I do a mixture of inpatient and outpatient work, and my experience in the last few years has been that the cause really for an increase in mental health in children, it can be anxiety, it can be depression, or a multiple sort of reasons, has been depression or anxiety. Basically, the reasons have been, I think, social media, which I think is at the top really, because even before COVID, we saw a marked increase in children with anxiety and other mental health issues. There's also, obviously, then with COVID came isolation, disruption to education, reduced access to support in the community. There's also a lot of awareness now, so people are a bit more aware of what's around, and young people sort of, know what's around as well. They kind of started to Google stuff and self-diagnose. So there's a multiple sort of reasons that have kind of contributed to an increase in, I think, the presentations.
Dr. Bahari, you're regarded as one of the country's leading experts on child psychiatry, and in particular adolescent psychiatry. What are the two most common mental disorders in children?
The two most common disorders in children that I see, one is anxiety disorder and the second one is depression. However, my expertise lies with neurodevelopmental conditions, so I do see a lot of ADHD and autism as well.
And do you think that there is a tendency on parents, because they are the primary source of being concerned about their children, obviously schools being the second source, do you think there's a possibility sometimes that parents dismiss the behavior of children as being either adolescence or, this is normal children stuff, and not realize that there is a real problem?
I think it is a very fine line, and I think the parents are on a learning curve as well, and that can make things complex. However, I think, now there is a bit more awareness, and from school, and, there is a lot of things available on the social media. So I think that's made people a bit more aware. But yes, it can happen that parents might dismiss things unhappy, but, there is a bit more awareness than what it used to be a few years ago.
And what's the trigger point from being kind of a happy-go-lucky kid or an adolescent, and then suddenly they plunge themselves into this anxiety? Is there some particular thing people can look for and think, my goodness, we need to go and seek expert help?
Yeah, a change in person's personality or how they are presenting in terms of what their mood looks like. They start becoming really unhappy. There are some red flags, as I call them. Extreme of low moods, not enjoying things that you've done before, possibly self-harming, and you're not enjoying things that you've enjoyed before. I think these are the main points or the red flags that one's parents or family or school might need to look at.
This is Keith Vaz on Talking Points on Leica Radio. I'm having a fascinating conversation with Dr. Ragini Bahari, one of the country's leading experts on child and adolescent psychiatry. When we come back, we'll be talking some more about some of her complex cases, but also what we can do in order to help children and young people address the very serious issues they have. Join us after the break.
Tilda Ka Zabardast Gana is brought to you by Tilda. Elevate your biryani with Tilda Grand Extra Long Basmati. Tilda.
मैं पगला गया हूँ ये जानता जो दिल के मोहल्ले में तू आ गया मेरे सवाल का तू ही जवाब है शर्मा गया मैं पगला गया
हो दिल उसका पैसे भले कम कमाए वो पर जोरों से डेली हंसाए वो ले बाहों में जब घर आए वो मैं क्वीन हूँ किसी की हाँ वैसे हूँ मैं बड़ी सीधी सारी लड़की पर लब लेके आता ट्विस्ट मेरे ऐसा पगला सा मेरे लिए जब कहूँ करे बारिश ऐसा जो मिले तो never gonna let go
बड़ी जोर से मोहब्बत हुई बड़े जोर का तुझ पे प्यार आ गया मेरे सवाल का तू ही जवाब है ये सवेरे सवेरे ही ख्वाब आ गया ये मान लो के दिल है घर तेरा हाँ ये मान लो के दिल है घर तेरा किराया प्यार से चुका देना तुम मेरा कहो ना रहने कब आओगे तुमसे जो दो पल बातें हो मेरी हाँ तुमसे जो दो पल बातें हो मेरी तो सारा दिन बदल ही जाता है ओ जा मेरी बोलो गले कब लगाओगे तेरे आने से मेरी आवारगी में कहते सभी है सुधार आ गया
चोरी छुपे तुम्हें हूँ यार देखती चोरी छुपे तुम्हें हूँ यार देखती सारे चेहरों में चेहरा तेरा आ गया
मेरे सवाल का तू ही जवाब है ये सवेरे सवेरे ही ख्वाब आ गया
Tilda का अनोखा song is brought to you by Tilda. Tilda rice is purity tested and broken grains are removed to ensure only the very best grains get on your plate. Celebrate with Tilda this festive season.
Like a radio.
Fees. The F word in travel. With an HSBC Global Money account, you can drop fees from Acapulco to Zurich. That means no fees here. Bonjour. No fees here. Howdy. And definitely no fees here. Pay no HSBC fees overseas with a Global Money account.
HSBC UK, opening up a world of opportunity. Available to HSBC UK customers with an eligible current account. Exclude some accounts such as the HSBC Basic Bank account. For mobile banking app users only. Non-HSBC fees may apply.
Hira Foods, bringing you authentic Eastern flavors with a huge selection of products including spices, grains, lentils, rice, flours, pickles, sauces, nuts, and ready-to-eat meals. Hira Foods, king in quality, king in taste.
Royal announcement by Royal Chai. Chai is loved by all and so is coffee. Here's presenting a brand new coffee latte in 3 different and delectable concoctions. Enjoy the royal blend and aroma of coffee in masala, cardamom and karak flavors. Taste the coffee latte with a quirk by Royal Chai. Now available at all major retailers.
Himalaya Carpets now offer 0% interest-free credit for up to 2 years. Branches at Southall and Slough.
Himalayan carpets for loyal prices. Himalayan carpets.
Travel with Star Tours and visit Scotland, Snowdonia, Lake District or choose day trips. Enjoy delicious Indian meals, sightseeing and accommodation from an APTA and ATOL bonded operator. Call Star Tours on 0208 900 2323 or visit startours.co.uk. Schengen visa services also provided.
सुनो, मेहमान आने वाले हैं और चाय के साथ सर्व करने के लिए कुछ नहीं है।
मैं अभी नजदीकी स्टोर से जैमिन के स्नैक्स लाता हूँ।
जैमिन फूड्स, the ethnic taste of India, लेकर आए हैं खाखरा, चिक्कीज, सोन पापड़ी, रोस्टेड चना, पिकल, पापड़ और ढेरों authentic Indian snacks.
Available at Asian grocers near you.
The personalities that matter with Keith Vaz on Talking Points.
Leica Radio.
Welcome back. This is Keith Vaz on Talking Points on Leica Radio. I'm having a very interesting conversation with Dr. Ragini Bahari, one of the country's leading experts on child and adolescent psychiatric issues. The quality of care that is given when someone is admitted to a hospital like the Priory. First of all, do we call them hospitals? Do we call them secure units? What do we call the kind of institution that provides 24-hour care for kids? Because sometimes the stigma remains for a while, doesn't it? How do we cope with bringing young people into these establishments?
So we would call them hospitals. They are hospitals, and we try and make them as child-friendly as possible. So at the Priory in North London, we've got, for example, school, we've got a nice little park, and we've got a lot of child-friendly stuff and activities that young people can do. So we try and make it as friendly as much as we can, sort of match it to what you would get in the community. So we wouldn't call it a secure unit. We would just call it a hospital, but a child-friendly hospital.
And if you were looking at sometimes young people when they sit with you go, actually, I was perfectly fine until I met my parents. What percentage of the patients that you have actually say, we're okay, it's just them, they brought me to this? Is it a large percentage? Do a lot of them blame their parents?
To be honest, they do. There is, and especially with the teenage sort of years, we've all at some point of time blamed our parents for everything in our lives. But we have to kind of distinguish between normality and what's going to be a pathological problem. And we've got an expert team at the Priory with family therapists and psychological therapy, which can kind of support families and children with sort of helping with these interpersonal relationship difficulties. So yeah, we try and help the families and try and see how we can mend some of these relationships.
And as far as prescription drugs are concerned, are you one of those people who believes that prescription drugs help people, or do you think, are you from a different school, which is that actually the environment, loving care, the alternative therapies are what we need for young people?
I'm a person that will have a very multidisciplinary approach to any sort of modality of treatment. So, to give you an example, when we have a young person that we assess, we will always try non-pharmacological approach, which means therapy, whether it's individual or family therapy. However, if there is a point where we feel that the child needs medication, we will prescribe something, for the shortest period of time that's possible, and then ask to continue with therapy.
Depression. That word is used so often, probably in the vocabulary that people, when they come and talk to you, when you sit with them, it's on the increase, isn't it? A lot of people feel low and depressed. COVID played a part in that. But for young people, living a happy, contented life is so important for their future. If they live an unhappy life, it's going to be quite difficult for them when they grow up. It's important to address these issues when they happen, isn't it?
100%. It's early intervention. As soon as you've picked up that there is a problem, this is for parents, school, anybody who is in the caregiving role. As soon as you've picked up that there is a problem, please do approach someone. There is a lot of psychological support available now in schools as well. So if you didn't want to have the stigma of seeing a psychiatrist or having therapy, you've got very informal sort of help available at school. There are a lot of voluntary agencies that you can contact, but this is the key to a future happy life where you want to build kids who are happy and enjoying life.
Dr. Ragini Bahari, it's been fascinating talking to you. It's been a real pleasure. It's an issue that nobody really wants to talk about because everyone wants to think that their kids are the happiest little kids and happiest adolescents in the world. So thank you for the incredible work that you do and the acknowledgement that we all have of you as one of our country's leading experts. We always ask our special guests to choose a song that means something special to them and dedicated to someone special. Which song would you like to choose and to whom would you like to dedicate it?
Yeah, so I've chosen the song तुम जो आए जिंदगी में बात बन गई from the movie Once Upon a Time in Mumbai, because I'm from Mumbai originally, and the song is dedicated to my husband Rajesh and my twin kids Krisha and Kyra. So yeah, that's the song I would like to dedicate.
And you've left out your dog Coco. Don't you think Coco needs a bit of a dedication?
Yes, Coco as well. That's true. Coco as well. Yes,
Well,
I agree
there's-
with Coco as well.
There's something we've got in common. I've also got a Coco, and you have as well. Though
Yes,
she's more devoted to my wife than she is to me. You're obviously going to spend today putting out the King Charles bunting in preparation for next week. But I hope you have a great Sunday.
Thank you so much for having me on your show, Keith, and I would like to send my best wishes to the listeners of Leica Radio.
Thank you so much for that. Let's hear Dr. Ragini Bahari's song.
तुम जो आए जिंदगी में बात बन गई इश्क मजहब इश्क में बात बन गई हो तुम जो आए जिंदगी में बात बन गई पाया तुम्हें रब ने मिलाया तुम्हें होठों पे सजाया तुम्हें नज़्म में सजाया तुम्हें पाया मैंने पाया तुम्हें सबसे छुपाया तुम्हें सपना बनाया तुम्हें गीतों में बुलाया तुम्हें पाया मैंने पाया तुम्हें रब ने मिलाया तुम्हें होठों पे सजाया तुम्हें नज़्म में सजाया तुम्हें पाया मैंने पाया तुम्हें सबसे छुपाया तुम्हें सपना बनाया
Keith Vaz on Talking Points. Leica.
Thumbs up for this week. I hope you enjoyed today's program. My thanks to Tanvi Shah and Ragini Barre for joining us today. My special thanks to my producer, Rena, and of course to my editor, Adam. As we prepare for one of the most momentous weeks in the history of our country, we're going to end today's program to a snappy song, Sammy Sammy, which will not be played at the Abbey at Westminster next Saturday, but it already has been viewed by 204 million people on YouTube. Please stay tuned for the wonderful Sheena, who'll be following the news on Leica Radio, Britain's greatest Asian radio station. On this special bank holiday weekend, as we prepare for, well, let's hope, is a week of sunshine. This has been Talking Points on Leica Radio with Keith Vaz, broadcasting from London, which is going to have the eyes of the world upon it in the next 6 days. I hope you have a great Sunday, and I think we all say with one voice, God save the King.
तू जानू वानू जो कहता है बीवी तेरी हूँ लगता है सामे मोर सामे मैं सामी सामी जो कहती हूँ मर्द मेरा तू लगता है सामे मोर सामे तेरे पीछे पीछे चलूं जैसे तेरे पीछे पीछे चलूं जैसे मंदिर की सीढ़ी पे चढ़ूं सामे तेरे बगल बैठूं ऐसे जैसे शिव के बगल गौरी मोर सामे वो डगर जहाँ तेरी नजर ले जाए रे प्रेम नगर सामे ऐसा मैं अरे सामे आजा सामे बलम सामे परम सामे सनम सामे अरे सामे आजा सामे बलम सामे परम सामे सनम सामे घुटने पे लेके पिया लुंगी लपेटे